Hello, fellow book lovers of the internet. It's Cecil. It's Wednesday, and it's time for the annual writing goals. I'm actually stunned that it's 2026. Time no longer feels real, which I guess is helpful when you're a sci fi author trying to rationalize theoretical quantum mechanics. So, there's that. Last year, I had just three goals. I wanted to finish re outlining my book, I wanted to flesh out the villain, and I wanted to rationalize wormholes for myself. The last two are definitely complete, and I feel good about that. Regarding the outline, it has stagnated at about the halfway mark. Whilst I scripted my Q3 writing vlog from last year, I never ended up filming or sharing it, so let's run through some of that first. um, Handing it over to past me's words regarding the goals, and then present me will take it from there. Number one, finishing the outline. This is complicated. The outline is in a bit of a toss up. We're at a point where the arc is finished and we're almost at 30 chapters. It could definitely be a full book, and the second half of the original plot could be formatted to be a sequel, but it doesn't need to be a second book. To me, it feels like the plot of the book is leading up to the second arc, and like it would be an unsatisfying story if I left that to be only in the sequel. But if I keep going, I don't know how long this book will do. I don't know if the arcs are going to feel disjointed from each other, and if they do, will I have another natural stopping point? Or do we just have to power through? Is it okay for arcs in the same book to feel so distinct? I could create parts or acts to group chapters together. That's certainly possible and pretty common in the genre. I don't know. I also feel like if I cut off here, the book will neatly fall into a young adult series vibe, which there's nothing wrong with that, and that was part of the original vision. But I'm 10 years older than when I first created this story. The things that I want to address are different. YA can be a limiting label in some ways. Heather is 18, but the themes don't necessarily stay on the same level as when they're explored in young adult, but adult doesn't feel right either. And then new adult feels right. It sounds right, but it's not really a category that exists marketably. So you can say, hey, this is new adult, but at the end of the day, a retailer is going to choose probably to put you either in YA or in adult. And as a femme presenting author, I would probably end up in YA. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, again, that's not bad. It's just possibly not what the story is, you know? Number two, fleshing out the villain. Mission achieved. The villain has flesh. I was able to get him in the story without it feeling forced or weird, and I feel like we're all set up from there for him to be properly introduced in this arc. Not everything is revealed yet, but I feel like there's enough information that's been sprinkled in the first act for the reader to start to form opinions about him. In the second arc, it's either going to be a while before he comes back in, or he's going to be in very quickly because I time skip, depending on how much I want to embark upon the time honored tradition of characters go on a long walk. Either way, there will be more information coming in the second arc, which is exciting because it's the stuff that I already know about him. And then the reader's opinions can be challenged or confirmed. And then the third goal was rationalizing wormholes. Another mission complete. During the time that I was unable to do much writing or outlining, I did the thing that makes the most sense to me: astrophysics. I don't have perfect math, but I do have enough of a brain concept that I think I understand what's happening in the book. I took a class in astronomy over the summer, which definitely helped and gave me more information about planetary systems and galaxy systems. Because my multiverse is kind of an extension of those systems, it's a helpful way to look at things. Um, I also did some planet and binary star math to figure out some of the alien planet functions. It took a lot of figuring out, but now that I know and understand the equations for revolutionary periods, I don't know, I feel pretty good. It was something that was fun to delve deeper into and retcon and figure out what I was doing, you know? And after I had written out that whole script, I didn't get much of a chance to do any further work on the book for the rest of the year. Um, I only had one class to manage, but between that and a really gnarly flare and the holidays, it just wasn't in the cards. Right now, I'm still working on fitting my schedule into place so that I don't burn out, but I'm very hopeful to make more progress. So, this year's goals: finish the outline. Contrary to what we just talked about from the script from like October, I have actually decided what I'm doing. I'm going to be separating it into probably part one, part two of the same book. That is something that exists in Iron Widow and in the Locked Tomb books, which are still in the like general YA genre, so it's okay. It's okay for the books to be long, and it's fine, and I'm not worried about it. So, that breaking it up into sections kind of helps establish that, like, hey, the tone and the setting are about to drastically shift. Let's, lock in. It's time for Act Two, And now that I've made that choice, I think I will be able to finish the outline. Ideally, this will get done sooner than later, but I'm not going to pressure myself too much because I am juggling many responsibilities. And since I've got this body that demands things like sleep and eating, I cannot stack my entire day just with doing work. That simply doesn't pan out well. And as it currently stands, I feel like I'm at a major turning point of the book, the point of no return. The halfway point? Over halfway? Hard to say. No matter how long or short it ends up being, this is the year we're going to finish the outline. From this point onward, a lot of it is going to be the same arc as the original draft, which helps. Here's hoping I can give myself the structure that the story needs to be rewritten. Goal number 2, finish writing 2 fan fictions. Not related to the actual original fiction book necessarily, but fanfic has been a great tool to me as an author in the past. And by in the past, I mean pretty much as long as I've been writing. It's my place to play. I've talked about that a little bit on this channel before. It's a low stakes environment where I can test run narrative styles, tropes, and different pacings. I haven't been doing much writing of any kind the past couple of years, but I think locking in some fan fiction might help me brush off the dust a little. I'm currently working on a nonlinear piece that alternates points of view, and this is what I mean by test running. exploring a lot of show don't tell type moments. I haven't written many nonlinear narratives, so it's new for me. It's also pushing me to consider what's relevant from each section of time that exists. Who is the better or maybe even worse narrator for those relevant moments? The second piece that I've only written bits and pieces of is dark fantasy, which is a space that I've never played in before. There's an original work that I've been mulling over that would lean into adult dark fantasy, and testing out voice, style, descriptions, and what feels too far or just far enough is something I'd benefit from. I think it's also going to help me establish the voice of Parallel. I've written YA, and Parallel would be my first new adult book. Even if retailers put it in YA, I think for me, I will consider it new adult. If I find the other extreme of definitely adult fiction, I think it'll be a little easier to determine what a midpoint looks like. Giving myself space to play and experiment is always helpful in the long run for my writing as a whole, and I'm excited to see where it will take me. And also, I'm excited to rotate my blorbos around in my head like a microwave. Number 3. Back to world building. Now, the parallel Earth is pretty solidly built. Even as a teenager, which, by the way, did you know that I started the first outline for this book before I had even turned 15? Because that's too long ago. My grasp on the general geopolitics and how that plays into the motivations of the villain were surprisingly solid, so good for you, buddy. But it has been 11 years. It's been 11 years. We're all dying. My perception of our world and its geopolitics has changed as I've matured, and also as the world has changed. I don't want there to be super one-to-one comparisons to the real world, but I do love a metaphor and a moral to the story. I posted a video on my main channel back in October about the role of a comedian, and by extension, the role of an artist, and stated my general view. You can check it out. Hold on. Okay. I'm working with a new camera. It's mirrored. You can check it out over here, because when it flips, it will be on the right side. Yes. Which happens to be the right side. Anyways. I'll link the video. Art is political. Comedy is an art and a tool. And call me a fool, because making commentative, silly art, that is my self-assigned errand. We are actively experiencing the rise of fascism. Artists have a job to do right now. We have always had a job in every pivotal moment in history. To record, resist, ridicule, reflect, inspire, give relief. When I dive into this book for good, when I shape this world into something that means something to myself and to others, I want it to reflect my assessment of the real world. The beauty of playing with the multiverse is exploring triggers and dominoes throughout history, and how just one change or just a few details can alter everything. That makes for the perfect dollhouse to reflect our world back to us, and in a safe and contained way. But it still has the potential to make you think. Those are my goals for this year, and maybe next year the goal will finally be to rewrite the book. Listen, a man can dream, right? With the discussion of meaning and politics, it makes it feel urgent and like I'm taking too long, but sense of urgency is a farce. Art will always hold meaning, and I care too much about this story and its potential to rush through it. I hope the new year has treated all of you well thus far, though if it hasn't, I hope that you find moments that ease it up a little. Take care of yourselves in the coming months. Create your art. Share it with those you love. Be in community with those around you. And I will see you in the next one.